What's up guys, it's me, Edinborn272 here, and I am now analyzing Overwatch, or at least their animated shorts, so I hope you guys enjoy this. Now, at this point you may be asking yourself, Ender, what the heck is there to analyze in Overwatch? Well, quite a lot through their shorts. It gives me a massive insight as to a lot of lore, a lot of things that I can't exactly find on the wiki, and some random details I just happen to notice. And if you haven't noticed any of my other analysis, I notice a lot of random things. So I hope you enjoy this one on Bastion. Oh, and if you're wondering why I'm using from the other ones, like hell am I going to be able to mix 7 minutes of footage into this video. It's not happening. It just isn't happening. Okay, so let's jump right in with the beginning with a bird that is presumably Ganymede waking up a moss-covered bastion, as seen about right here. Okay, so at this point it's known that Bastion's been out cold for about 20 years. As to, how he went offline, that's unknown. But judging from how he was sitting, I assume that he was like, I don't know, knocked over? Maybe had a fatal or critical failure, whatever. I don't know what term it would be for a friggin' Omnic. But otherwise, he crashed, to say the least. Bastion begins to just figure out who he is, and I assume that at this point, Bastion has no memory of who he is, what he was built to do, etc., etc. And right about here is when he begins to realize that he had a mission, something he was supposed to do. Whether he realizes what that is unknown. Okay, so fast forward a bit, we get to see where Bastion develops his curiosity for nature. It's not really shown in-game, but we do know it through his interactions with Ganymede and a bit of lore I happen to know. Bastion has a fondness for nature, and it seems like this is where he found it. Okay, so this seems to be where Bastion develops his attraction to his faithful little buddy Ganymede, who I'm assuming is the same bird from before. He must have taken quite a liking to Bastion, as Ganymede will follow him through war zones, hell and high water, etc., and up until a certain the animated short, he's seen on or directly around Bastion, so they both seem to like each other. Okay, so right here is an adorable little interaction between Bastion and Ganymede that actually emphasizes why Bastion walks away later in the short, but it seems to be interrupted by basically the Omnic equivalent of a war flashback. At this point, which you will certainly see, Bastion mistakes that bird for gunfire, and immediately switches into his self-defense mode, which is the only reason why he's ever harmed anything. Well, in this state of mind at least. And it's actually what scares away Ganymede, and why Bastion walks away and back to his primary objective. How long he wandered until that happened, I have no idea. Okay, so to those of you who aren't up on lore, I'm going to explain exactly what that red light in his eye meant. That is his primary code taking over. You'll see that red in the Omnics in his, flashback later. Essentially, that is his primary code taking over, forcing him back into, Omnic crisis state of mind. He's immediately in defense mode. He's attacking, he's defending himself from any possible threats around. What he mistook that bird for, of course. Okay, so I don't know what this city is. I don't know its name, but it does follow the color scheme of the museum shown in the Overwatch short, in which Reaper and Widowmaker were together fighting Tracer and Winston. But I don't think that's it, and it doesn't seem like it's the one Bastion was supposed to attack, as he takes confusion in its appearance. Okay, so this is the kicker, no pun intended, moment in the video where Bastion finds his bullet-riddled brethren amongst this grassy field that seems to not have been mowed since the Omnic crisis. He then proceeds to have a look into the, last logs of this Bastion unit in front of him, giving him a flashback of time during the Omnic crisis. Let's have a look. Okay, so right here is what I was talking about. If you pay close attention to these omnics, you'll see the red. Well, not that close, but you'll see it. That's the core programming. And another thing that I'm actually going to have to back up to show you is right about here. Okay, so right here we get a quick look at what appears to be two Crusaders. Not sure if one of them is Reinhardt, but I know that one there isn't. Okay, so let's back up a bit and get a freeze frame. Notice anything different about this Crusader here? Yeah, well, I sure did. That there is Baldrike, the dead Crusader in Eichenwald. He was Reinhardt's former commanding officer before he joined Overwatch, which is why I questioned whether or not the one in the background was actually Reinhardt. Now, you may continue to ask why this is relevant. Well, Baldrike died during their first mission, meaning this little bastion comes from none other than the woods around Eichenwald. There it is, mystery solved, but the video ain't over, because now we get to analyze a little bit right about here. It's, Ganymede. The little bird that turns Bastion away from his core programming and onto his new self. His curious, nature-loving, not inherently hostile self. So, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I intend to do more. As you saw, I have footage from Dragons and Hero in the beginning of this. And I decided to do Bastion first because this was the first one I noticed stuff in, and literally while I was editing this I noticed one in Hero, and I'm sure I'll find some in Dragon. So thank you guys for watching, and goodbye. Overwatch. 優雅我が敵を食らう